Hello YouTube, I'm bringing you another Total War Arena battle. This time we're fighting on Hadrian's Wall, and I haven't fought on this map pretty much ever. This is the second time I've ever fought in. The last game didn't go too well. I've tried to engage Legionnaires, Ascensi actually, with my Barbarian fighters on the front, and it didn't go very well at all. So this time I figured let's deploy in the center and just hold back, see what kind of chaos the battle can throw us into, and then try to use our mobility advantage to really use that chaos and gain the upper hand. So one of our allies drew a big arrow in the center and said let's go. So everybody pretty much deployed in the center, leaving the flanks woefully exposed, but the enemy camp is pretty close here, even though this ground is very hard to push through. So if we can manage to win, it's a close path to victory. I do scout with my cavalry, as you've seen. Figured no one would bring cavalry into this fight just because the center is so congested. So we do see the Ascensii, and we get a nice pillar from them, but our own javelin men fire back in return, so scouting well worth the cost, I think. So as I've said, I'm trying to hold back and see what happens, trying to sort of use, well, just trying to wait it out really. Now one of the enemy units engaged here and everybody charged. So we do clump up a lot here and take a lot of damage from these javelin men, which is probably not the best, but the battle is pretty much hoping. We have hoplites here, and things seem to be going okay. That being said, I could no way see how I could get into this fight, so I drew my army away. We were losing this fight, definitely. It wasn't looking very good, so I've decided to move through the forest, sort of hide my units, hoping that perhaps if these units are chasing our allies, that we can hit Rhea from the rear and catch them off guard. I'm sorry. That sort of happens. One of our allies engages this unit from the front, so we do send our barbarians from the back. I do wonder if this is a mistake though, because that unit was almost routed, and now this hoplite checked the forest to see if there are more baddies, and they do find us, even managing to get a bit of a charge in. So perhaps the ambush was wasted. I tried to skirt around with my cavalrymen, but they keep drawing their units away to meet them, so there's no good way to find those angles. I do want to send my infantry unit as well into this plaza, so I could come from the flank, but these hoplites are determined not to let me pass. I think the overall battle plan was good here, to move in through this forest. No one would expect someone to come in so late from the center, so it's a decent idea that didn't quite work. Perhaps I've engaged too soon, or they just happened to be too close. I'm not sure which. So the hoplites do charge in because they have an ability to really speed them up, but our ally comes in from the flank, and I do try to join him. He does back away slowly, so no longer the flank that I wanted to hit is exposed, and we're pretty much back into the same position. I wanted to charge this isolated group over here, but the AI didn't quite let me do that. They wanted to charge in straight. I believe I'm still taking damage because technically the phalanx is deployed, and eventually a cavalry group comes, so I do engage with my barbarians, committing them, just holding the anvil until our allies can help out from the back. I do send my own infantry as well, just to speed up the process of routing. Some cavalry comes in, which is definitely disturbing, and they do charge down the javelin men, but they get stuck and are attacked by the infantry. So that's a fight that's going to go well for us. They do disengage, but it's pretty difficult to disengage with 2 infantry bodies blocking you, so they do take a lot of damage on the retreat, which is good. This unit finally rerouts, and we can stabilize. Now the replay sort of bugs out somewhere around here. At this point the balance seems to be in our favor, but really we were getting destroyed in the center, and we were about 6 infantry units moving into our base already. So it was the question whether we can redeploy fast enough to win one of those battles on the flank and reinforce the center quickly from this direction. And yeah, unfortunately we just did not come quickly enough. We do have some nice bounties for winning this battle on the plaza. There are some cavalry units retreating, but these archers very much explode, so we do charge them from behind, and it's always nice to see that surprising tag on the enemy units. They could have defended from our own horsemen. It would be 3 versus 1, but I suppose he was concerned about my infantry on subsequent charge, so I can't blame him for not trying. So archers do get routed, of course, and as I've said, the replay was bugging out. These were actually some javelin men over here. So we do get the archers for our trouble on the fort over here, and we do get charged into some more missile units closer to the center. Still, I'm a barbarian, and we do seem to be fast and cause a lot of morale damage, but even against the archers the progress is somewhat slow. Yeah, I'm not sure. We should do quite a lot of damage, but we're not that good from the front. But this is kind of what you're supposed to with a barbarian faction, I think. You're supposed to sort of wait it out and then sweep in, doing these kinds of maneuvers. By the time I was crossing the center, the battle was pretty much lost. We had about 6 enemy units in the center, pretty much deployed, and I was pretty much the only guy remaining with 1 artillery units over here somewhere. Some stragglers probably all over the map, but the only remaining significant force. So our decision to pull back from the center might have backfired. We did win the battle on the right, but we didn't manage to reinforce the center quickly enough before it shattered. And as I've said, this unit, this distance from the center is by far the closest. So they did take up defensive positioning here, and the bar was already some halfway through before I arrived. Nothing really I could have done at that point. I charged in from the front and promptly lost that battle. I did get the VIP on this battle, presumably for running down some missile units over here. But I didn't get that many points. We lost quite one-sidedly overall. So perhaps next time I'll try to cast 1 life and see how that goes in case a replay bugs out again. But for now, I do hope you gained something from it, and that it was mildly entertaining, and I hope to see you next time. Cheers. See you soon.